Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. We are about 4 weeks away, a little less, 26 nights to be exact, until WrestleMania. Now, wrestling fans, before we get started talking about Raw tonight, I have something that I'm wanting to discuss because I had sat on this for a while thinking, I'm not sure if I want to discuss it, because usually when something like this comes up, as far as something serious, I don't bring it up. I kind of lay low. I try to keep it as, I try to enjoy the show. I try to take all the nasty, serious stuff, if it happens in wrestling. I try to take the politics that goes on in wrestling, whatever a person believes. I try to take all that crap. I try to take any of the stuff that they say, like on Twitter or anything that fans might get mad about, if it's something hateful or whatever crap. I try to take any of that and I toss it out to the side, and I just enjoy the show. And I do that because I've been a fan of professional wrestling for 30 plus years now, and I am not going to ruin that. I am not going to let that crap ruin me being a professional wrestling fan. I'm not. However, this is something, before I even start on Monday Night Raw, okay? And believe me, I know that there's people out there that are going to chew this up and spit this out. They probably already have. Okay? But, you know, Fightful Select and all these other wrestling outlet, Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer, and all these other people, they are reporting, and you can't see it now because Ricochet has taken his this tweet down now, but Ricochet went on Twitter and practically said he was glad that somebody had MS, or multiple sclerosis. Now, some of you out there that watch this know that I do have a physical disability, which is one reason why while I've been watching people discuss this, am coming across this way. Ricochet or any other heel in wrestling, in professional wrestling, AEW, TNA, WWE, any other wrestling company, whether it's the low indies or whatever, saying that on the internet, saying you're glad that some fan has yada yada yada, is not being a good heel. It's not. That's not being a good heel. As a matter of fact, that in these days can chase off your audience. Now me, I'm one. I'm not going to stop watching the show because of something like that. I'm not. It's professional wrestling. It's wrestling. It's entertainment. That was not entertainment, though. That wasn't. I think it's the best thing in the world. He took the tweet down. Not only was it the best thing in the world for Ricochet, it was the best thing in the world for AEW and anybody else that was a part of that company. But you don't do that. You don't. You don't know who in the world you're offending. You don't know who in the world you're chasing away. And it makes you and everybody around you look bad. Because you work for a major wrestling company. And you do not want that company to look like straight up dog crap. And by doing something like that, they do. Utterly ridiculous that somebody would put something like that out there. Ugh. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Being a wrestling fan for 30 plus years, and you know we've been through a lot of bad things. We have, wrestling fans. Don't get me wrong and don't get me started. We went through Vincent Kennedy McMahon thinking he was greater than God. We went through Vince McMahon saying, "Blessed be the name of Vincent Kennedy McMahon," and reading scriptures and all different types of stuff, and spraying water in the sanctuary of a church. We went through all that. We went through Shane and Vince taking on Shawn Michaels and God. That's what we went through. Okay? So this isn't the first time we've had to deal with something outrageous. But you don't wish that somebody has multiple sclerosis or MS or any type of disability. You don't. That really got under my skin. Being somebody that has a physical disability and has been a wrestling fan for 30 plus years. Okay. I'm off that rant now. Okay. Let's get to Monday Night Raw, shall we? Let's get to Monday Night Raw. Raw tonight, where CM Punk got put through a table, and he got Superman punched, and he got speared. All that. Brock Lesnar almost F5 Obafemi, couldn't F5 Obafemi, all that plus so much more. We're going to discuss it right here today. Y'all remember what to do before we get started with that, and that is to become a subscriber today. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for all notifications. Guys, it is appreciated. And of course, leave me a big comment down below, a big thumbs up, and go back and check out anything you've missed. It is on the channel right now. Guys, look, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman start off the show. I I'm glad that for once we did not open the show with Seth Rollins and all of his flying winged crows like from the Power Rangers movie in the 90s, running around masked men, following him around. I'm glad we didn't start the show off that way. But Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman came out saying that they were upset and, saying revenge, and they shut the Obafemi chants down by making everybody say, Paul Heyman, that whole thing. And anyway, Obafemi ended up coming down and Brock Lesnar couldn't F5 him. That was the gist of it. And the only thing that I could really think of when it comes to this segment is WWE, continue doing what you're doing with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. Continue on with this. Maybe let Brock Lesnar get one upper hand. One. But if you want to do something smart between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, come WrestleMania 42, put the cherry on top of the cake and have Obafemi win. Now, are they going to do that? Is the report true about Brock Lesnar wanting to never lose? If that's the case, he's making this match look awesome. That's what he's doing with all this. And then he goes over. In reality, it would be great if it would look awesome if they did all this stuff. And then Obafemi goes over. That's an ultimate putting the new talent over, I tell you what. I just hope it's not just a squash. I hope it's not that at WrestleMania. If Obafemi is going over, okay, I hope it's not. I hope they put on a barn burner, kind of like what Brock Lesnar and Goldberg did at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. Now, tag titles ended in DQ. The Usos versus The Vision next week in a New York City street fight. Okay. I hope that the Usos retain next week, but chances are the Vision's going to walk into WrestleMania as a tag champs. And that's just going to be the Vision versus the Usos 3. That's all this match is setting up for. I hate saying it that way, but this is kind of the trend that I can see going. As a matter of fact, the trend that I can see going is Vision winning at New York, losing at Mania, Roman winning at Mania. The Bloodline, titles held high at the end of WrestleMania 42. Y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. But how do they get there? The Vision wins at New York City to make the match at WrestleMania 42. Because the Usos will have to have their rematch. And the rematch will take place at WrestleMania. And if it doesn't take place at WrestleMania, then what in the world is Triple H doing? That's all I can say about that. Anyway, wrestling fans, outside of that, We had Bailey and Lila Valkyria beat the Kabuki Warriors. So now they're taking on the irresistible forces. My response to that is, who cares? Because it just means that it's going to be a multi-women tag team matchup at WrestleMania, because Bailey and Lila Valkyria are going to lose. Bonsai by Nia Jax next week. It's coming. That or some DQ finish or something like that. Who knows? Who cares? I tell you what, it's going to be some type of DQ finish, some type of screwy finish, where it ends up being a multi-woman match at WrestleMania. That's all that's going to happen for the women's tag team titles. Does any of us care? I don't, and I'm sure you don't either. Outside of that, you know, we had Javon Evans doing what he does best, flying through the sky. That OG color looks great every time he does it. It wasn't the best one. The best one I've seen is when, you know, he went from post to post and hit it, but he taking down the New Day right now. But look, he'll get mid-card gold sooner rather than later. I mean, if R-Truth and Damian Priest are the tag team champions on SmackDown, Javon Evans is getting that Intercontinental title sooner rather than later. And if he doesn't get it, he should at least become number one contender for the strap. And face Penta. Instead of Penta facing El Grande Americano and the Judgment Day and the same people over and over and over and over again. Speaking of the Judgment Day, we saw Dominic Mysterio lose to Penta tonight in his rematch. And I'm telling you, that was simply there to set up Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I hope we see the Demon at WrestleMania. I'm hoping for it. I hope we get it. It would be another special attraction, something that we could look forward to. Okay? Give us something to look forward to. Let it be something that's going to put Dominic Mysterio down. Okay? Rather than just a regular Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. We can see that on a Monday Night Raw or at Backlash. Okay? You know, we can see that on a regular pay-per-view. Oh, excuse me. PLE. Let's have the Demon. WrestleMania 42. Something special. And outside of that, guys, not too much happened on Raw. Roman Reigns put CM Punk through a table, speared him, Superman punched him after CM Punk talked about being old and about how he was proud of being old and about how he was still the best in the world and about how he does not put just for men in his beard like Roman Reigns does. That was Monday Night Raw, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review of everything. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're at $6.99. If you have not subscribed yet, I do not know what you're waiting for. A lot of great content comes on this channel every single week. So become a subscriber today. And of course, until I see you again, this is Webby. I'll catch you all on the other side. Talk to you later.